Hello, my name is Vincent Smith from Crispus Attucks Community Center, and today we're doing Soulful Sunday, a celebration of Black history where we interview local African-American leaders and the work they do in the community. Today I have the pleasure of meeting and interviewing the wonderful Willona.
Oh my, making it sound good.
So what we're going to do is just ask you personal questions about you so the community can get to know you outside of just Brightside Opportunity Center, but also you. So let's jump right into it.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
Purple?
Do you have a reason why that's your favorite color?
Nope, I just like purple.
Okay.
And all shades of purple. Like, I'm not even like one shade. I'm a gamut of purple. Give me a ray and I'm good.
That's good. My favorite color used to be purple and black, but I just stuck to black now.
Oh, now it's just black?
It's just black.
You know what my second favorite color now is? Navy blue. Don't ask me where I got it from. I have no idea why I like it, but navy blue and white, probably because I'm getting older, my eyes are dimming. Navy blue and white. I don't know why.
Yeah. What's your favorite food?
Oh God, I'm greedy. So I would say like macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
Fried
so is
chicken.
it baked macaroni and cheese or just macaroni?
Oh, baked macaroni. I mean, why eat it if it's not baked? I don't understand why people do that. But I mean, during the week, I might, if I could throw a little crab up in there, but that'd be not likely anymore. But yeah, baked macaroni and cheese, I would say.
Okay, so tell us something that the community doesn't know about you.
Oh goodness, pretty much open book. I don't know. I don't know if they know I'm originally from Philadelphia, so.
What part of Philly?
Born and raised in Lancaster, South Philly. Born and raised in.
Okay, I was in South Philly, 18th Itasca.
What? Martin Luther King Projects, 13th Itasca. Yes, born and raised.
You got any hidden talents?
As my friend calls me, the Project Princess.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna use that line. I'm the Project King. You see how this is working out?
That's right. That's right.
You got any hidden talents?
I can play the clarinet. Played for years, high school and college.
Oh, okay.
It's fun.
Okay, I like that.
And I can play the drums too. Don't tell nobody.
We're looking for drummers.
Nope.
Tuesday and Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. We need some drummers.
Tap, tap, tap. One of them rolls, and I'm done. That's the limit.
So we're now in the second year of the pandemic. How has that affected your operations here at Brightside Opportunity Center?
Oh, wow. So I would say that we closed probably in the very beginning for about 15 weeks. But I thought it important, a couple board members thought it important that we open back up. And I thought, how are we going to do this? So I was okay with opening back up because we are such a vital part of the community. So as long as we had the safety measures in mind, I was okay. So that meant changing all of our chemicals that we clean with, right? Because before we were cleaning with the chemical, it didn't clean COVID. Nobody knew COVID existed.
Right.
So until we were able to get new chemicals, and we did them. But once we did that, and just putting protocols in place. So once we had the protocols, the cleaning protocols in place, and at that point we were temperature checking and masking and all of those things, great. But for us, we're a community center. So things that we do in our building, we really couldn't do to the level that we did them previously, right? So either it was no gym for a minute. Our fitness center was closed, and so was our gym. So all of that income that we would have gained from those two services, we couldn't. We couldn't do our rentals. Like we have a whole building here that we rent out for social, whatever. Birthday parties, whatever it is.
Yeah.
People, as long as they don't have to drink, they usually drink out in their car. But as long as you don't have no alcohol, you can rent our space, and people do that. Not everybody. I don't drink, so I get it. So all that income we weren't able to recover. So we were, however, able to run our STEM camp. So what was super helpful over that time is we talked to other social service organizations trying to figure out what they were doing and how they were doing their services. So we had our STEM camp up and running. We had a race, scaled down version because of sizing and what the governor said we could put in a room of the square footage. So we did our STEM camp, so that was helpful. And we had gotten a grant to do those. So I didn't want to tell the person, they probably wouldn't have said anything, but nobody was operating.
Right.
But I still wanted to be able to provide services to our youth because we knew our youth was being affected at rates that were untold and still being affected. So other than changing our hours of operation, so we're not open from 6 a to 9 p anymore, open from more like 6A to 7P, but they're trying to push it to 9. As the longer I stay, the more they want to be at 9 o'clock. But so far, we're at 7P as our official.
I'm voting till 9 p.m.
Everybody will vote till 9 p.m. But 9 p.m. You got that cleaning is we got to have people to clean, and we don't always have. We have one maintenance guy who comes in the evening, and that's it. So. The longer we're open, the more cleaning is required. So it's always an operational thing. I'm always the one looking at the operations. But
I get you.
That's my job.
That's why you're in charge.
That's why they pay me the $2 that I get paid. So that is.
And that's why me and Isaiah, we run the programs because we just like to push the limits.
Right up to the edge, and then they have really good ideas, and I'm like,
who gonna do that?
I'm paying for that. Yeah, wait a second. So that was a change. Otherwise, on the flip side of that. We entered into a space that we were kind of in before as in providing food to people who are food insecure. We did it before, but not to this level. This level that we're doing it at now is amazing to me. Like it has really opened up my eyes to the fact that people really just don't have food.
Right.
And they don't have a place where they have places they can go, of course. But like on this side of town, there's not a whole bunch.
Right.
So, we get people who we'll see every day. And I should say Ida, because she's that person that sees them every day. I won't see everybody every day. I'm not downstairs every day. But people we see every day, and people who we've never seen to come and pick up food. Now we don't have a whole bunch of stuff like we have, Food Hub and comes in, brings us stuff and that kind of stuff. But it's amazing the amount that they bring and the fact that it's never there overnight.
Right. Yeah.
Which just boggles my mind. Like when I look at the Food Hub truck being out there for 20, 30 minutes, giving us food, bringing in pallets, and then 2 hours later it's gone.
Right.
That it makes you pause. Like now you get some people come and take,
Right.
They're gonna do that anyway. They're gonna visit me, Christmas Addicts, and the bright side and go with it. That is just the nature of what that is. But these are people who we've never seen before.
Right.
So that to me has been a definite change from what we've done in the past.
Yeah, that's good. I see that on our side of towns too. The need for food, but also how you've picked up operation on serving food to the community, and not just food, but fresh food.
Yeah,
I think that's good to know. Like, it's not canned goods. It's usually fresh bread, collard greens, turkeys, whatever. Usually it's fresh.
I know it's always fresh, but we got a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, we get stuff that like the 2 days of restoration.
Yeah,
but for us, it's fine because it's out. Like. If you get it today, we're pretty much gonna give it today. We don't hold it. People ask us, well, when do you give out food? Well, we don't have a set date. Like people drop us food to us. And we do a Facebook Live, we give it out. We're not holding it. We're not. And if we do, we're using it for a community purpose. So if we have a youth group coming up, or we have STEM coming up, or whatever, we'll take that and still provide it to our community. So we're not holding it for any real purposes other than giving it to different segments of our community. So.
I understand that. So if there was anybody in Black history that you can be, who would that be and why?
I could be? Oh my, who would I be? Oh, that's a hard one. I would.
I mean, Black history goes,
it could be anybody, right?
It could be Black history is recent. It could be the first Oscar winner actress like Halle Berry. It could be,
I would be somebody like. I'd be somebody like in STEM, like somebody who, what was that, Hidden Figures?
Yeah, Hidden Figures. One of them.
But see, I don't know that I could deal with the 60s stuff. So let me come more forward. Let me find somebody in the forward. Let me think. I would be. I'm gonna be me. How about that? I'm just gonna be me.
Okay.
Because I can't think of nobody else I'd be for all the hardships. I don't know how to go through other hardships. I got my own, right?
Right.
So I would be me. Figuring out what this life is like, growing up and doing the things that I've done. I think I'd be me. I don't want to change me.
And that's good.
And I like my hardships because I know what they were in the past. I don't know the ones in the future because the Lord didn't tell me that. You won't tell me that either. But I know what they, and I know how I traveled and navigated through them. So I would say I'd stay be myself.
That's good.
If I think it's somebody else, I'll let you know.
Who is your favorite gospel singer?
Oh, Kurt Franklin.
Okay. So what is your favorite non-gospel song? Are you Earth, Wind, and Fire? Are you a Beyonce? Are you a...
I'm a music. I like everything. But I would say like Frankie Beverly and Maze would be like my, like if I want to sit back and just go to nowhere land, Frankie Beverly and Maze makes me super happy. Okay. I don't care what the man sing. He can sing whatever he wants.
What's your favorite song from them?
I would say, what's the one that he did? Beyonce did over. That's my song. Before I Let Go.
Before I Let Go.
See, that come on and I'm acting like I'm 22. And my body is like, no, you need to have several seats right now. I'll say Before I Let Go. I love that song. Oh, and my other favorite, yes, one you'll get two. Luther Vandross. That's my.
Oh, Luther.
I can do Luther.
That was my grandma's favorite, Luther.
Was it? See.
I'm gonna give you a shout out to Luther for my grandma.
Yes, that was my dude. Like, you can listen to the best of Luther. Listen, you have all kind of members. You be good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so you gotta try that out. It's good.
So, not just this church or this organization. How do you feel that the church in general plays a role in the African American culture, even from Philly? Like, how has the church played a role to developing the African American culture?
Well, I would say for me, since I'm not from here and I came to Lancaster when I was in college, so my first thing to do was go to church. Like, I knew that because I lived in Manheim Township, and it wasn't, 35 years ago, it wasn't a whole bunch of people of color out there. Right? So it was like, I know there got to be some people of color, but where are they? So I said, well, you know what, I'm going to go to that church on that big street, because I didn't know anything about big for me. I'm from Philly, but Queen Street was one of the largest streets, right? So I was like, I'm going to go to that church and see how they are. So I think for anybody who is coming to a newer city, especially like ours, so I have to do a speech at a summit coming up, and I just Googled the African Americans in Lancaster City, 17%.
Right.
When I got here 30 years ago, it was 30%. And I'm like, wow, I didn't realize it had dropped. I knew it dropped, but I didn't know it dropped that much.
That's dramatic.
And coming from Philly, which is 44%, and I thought, okay, that was a big culture shift and a culture shock. So I knew that I needed to at least find out where Black people of color met.
Right.
So for me, it was church. So I came to Brightside. Pastor Butcher was the pastor at that time. We were on Queen Street, that big street. Yeah. And you kind of got to see the workings of the city and who operated where, and who's who. I knew nobody, so I didn't know who was who and who was what. I have no idea. And in Philly, you don't get to see the who's who and who's what. Like, they may go to your church, but you don't really know. Right. But Lancaster is so small that the who's who and who's what you see at church. Right. And I was like, this is interesting. Like, you just don't get to see that. We saw like a newscaster, it's like, but in Lancaster, it's like regular. It's good to see the mayor. Like, I see Deneen wherever I go. I can call her, hi Deneen, how you doing? It's not what you do in Philly. So that was a big culture shock for me. But being in the African American church was super helpful. It kind of gave you a sense of yourself when I got here, because again, I'm coming from Philly to here, a different culture, different whole culture, different. At my place that I worked, I was the only African American there. Right. So, but because my mom was one who, she always put me in diverse places. So I lived in South Philly in the projects actually, but I didn't go to my neighborhood school. I went to a school outside of my neighborhood. And that was through my whole life. My mom never sent me to the local school per se. But here in Lancaster, you only have one school, right? So that was a big adjustment. I wasn't understanding why everybody had to go to McCaskey. But there's so many other schools. That's not what y'all do here. Okay. But in Philly, since they're all in the Philadelphia school district, I get it. You get to whatever school you wanted to. So I always said that. So being in Lancaster and knew this was my first stop. Like Brightside was the first church I didn't go to any other churches after that. But it was helpful. It grounded me, gave me a sense of belonging and purpose. It showed me that there are other people, working outside. They just don't work where I work. But it was interesting. I had never been in a place where it was one of the only. And it was, it was different. But, I navigated and made it through. So my advice to everybody when they first get here and I meet them is, do you go to church? I don't care what church it is. Right. Of course, I'm going to steer you to Brightside. But there are other churches. I get it, And if you're of another faith, great. But ground yourself first in a place of worship. Wherever that is, I don't really care.
Okay. So, since you've been here for the 30 years, how have you heard Christmas Addicts, as the organization, has played a role in the African American culture here, but also working with the Brightside Opportunity Center?
Well, first I'll say, Brightside did Rites of Passage when I first got here. That's 30 years ago. And we did it at Crispus Addicts.
Right.
And I was like, where are we going? First of all, I was calling it Christmas Addicts, which is so wrong.
Everybody does it.
I know, and I'm like, it drives me crazy. I'm just like, eek, no, that's not the name of it. It's Christmas Addicts, because it was a person, right?
Right.
And I tell people it's a person, so it's Christmas Addicts.
It's not a holiday.
Exactly, it's not a holiday. And so I knew of Crispus Addicts at that point. So I had been volunteering with Rites of Passage, and at Crispus Addicts. So that was my connection. And then I just started learning about the history. Like, I didn't know that, because again, I'm not from here. Yeah. All of the things that people did at Crispus Addicts in the African American community.
Right.
I didn't have that history. So I was like, y'all ate here too?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all did sewing classes here? Y'all did drill team?
Yeah.
Y'all did art? Y'all all that here?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Was a shelter? Everything.
Yeah. When I came here with the shelter, so I was used to Miss Bobby.
Yeah.
My buddy. Was used to Miss Bobby. I knew her, and I knew Tom Hyson, of course. But that was once, I was older. I didn't know the history. And I didn't know how a pivotal role it played in, growing up people of color, especially Black folks, in this area. And once I found out, I was like, oh, okay. So now I get the importance of making sure you stay around. Right. It's making sure that because people say, well, are you guys at Brightside focus on African Americans? We have everybody on this side, so we kind of get a hodgepodge of people, and that's what our role is. We are a community center. That is, we don't ever say we focus on African American culture. If people say that to me, I say, no, we want to go to Crispus Attucks. Right. Because that is the focal point. That is not, it's just not, it's not what Brightside does. Like, if you go to our church on Sunday, you'll see plenty of people who are African American. But Monday through Friday, you come over here and it's United Nations. Right. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that. It works for me. It's what we're supposed to do. It is our mission. But Crispus Attucks is specifically for African Americans, and I love that about it.
Oh, we appreciate that. So even though you serve everybody, this organization, how has this organization played a role in bettering the African American community or serving the African American community?
Well, I think first the fact that we even exist.
Come on now.
Right? Our founding pastor was Reverend Dr. Lewis A. Butcher Jr. The fact that this was a vision of his, and it has come to fruition in and of itself. Right. African American man. We started out in a really small church on 15 South King Street, where Rick's used to be, right?
Yeah.
Right around there. Yep. We moved to 15 South Farnham Street, and then 215 South Queen Street, and now 515 Hershey Avenue. So
15 stayed in there.
And his address is 215. So that 15 is the number for him. I don't know what Jesus got with him with the 15, but I'm gonna like it. Okay. The fact that he was able to build and in building such an organization, and then creating a community center attached to it. Right. Unheard of, right? Like one man.
Right. What a vision.
Just great vision, very large vision that we get to carry on and move to the next iteration of it. But that in and of itself was monumental, right? Right. And now we get to move that needle forward into our next generation of whoever we're going to be. So as Brightside Opportunity Center, my goal is just to make sure that we service our community and specifically our children of color. Right. We have a basketball team. Everybody knows that. That's great. We have a gym. We have basketball, and that's wonderful. But not everybody plays basketball. I didn't play basketball.
Me either.
Right. I can bounce the ball, but my nail broke. It'd be a problem. I didn't want to sweat, so I was over that real quick. But for the fact that when I got here, I noticed, when I looked at the statistics of the school district, I didn't have kids. When we first got to Lancaster, but over time, looking at a school district with an 80% poverty rating, it's kind of daunting. Like when somebody says that, you're like, it can't be 80%. Like it really is 80. It's 80%. So then, what do we do to help the district, and what do we do to help our culture? Right. And then because the majority of the school district are people of color, Latino, African American, Sudanese, whatever it is, people of color. So how do we move that needle forward, and how do we get people to grow past whatever poverty is always a great thing. Right. So you want to start Wabank? Pivotal role for African Americans. So just dealing with our youth, that has been like instrumental for me to figure out how we get our kids who are in an 80% poverty rating to that next generation to a self-sustaining lifestyle. Right. So we do it through STEM, right? We do science, technology, engineering, and math camps and leadership academies. And in the summer, we'll do a Girls Who Code we work with the STEM Alliance to do a Boys All-Star Code, which is Boys Code as well. So just to move that next generation forward.
Right.
Like I can't sit back and say I'm not a fan of, you know, our poor kids or this, that. Yeah, we have kids who got challenges. We've all had challenges. But I'm not going to treat you like a challenge.
Right.
I'm going to treat you like the queen and the king that you are.
Come on now.
So you're not going to come in here sleeping and all. I don't do that like that. Well, that makes me so sad. I tell people this is STEM camp, not sleep camp. If you need to sleep, then you should probably go to your house and come back tomorrow.
Right.
So kind of hard that way. My kids say I'm very mean, but I'm not mean because I just see the benefits in our kids learning and doing something. Now, I'm not saying I have to be doctors or engineers or any of that, but there are so many occupations in the STEM field that will allow you to earn a sustainable wage and get you out of that poverty trap and move you look way past what we do. The goal is to make the next generation better. Makes me better than me because I'm bad.
Listen. Yeah. Well, since we're talking about youth and how you see the vision of youth, if you can deliver a message to our youth right now on hope or love, what would it be? And let's talk to them.
I say hope and love. I think you have to love yourself. Don't let people tell you who you are because you already know you're a queen or a king. And God didn't make any junk. He made every one of us with a purpose. So you know what that, if you don't know your purpose, keep living and you'll figure it out. And if you don't, come to me and I'll give it to you because I'm really good at that. And I would say hope, like there's definitely hope. Now we've been through a horrible pandemic and we've all been through it with the youth, and they're probably doing way worse than we are because at least we have outlets as adults to do other things. But as youth, if you ever have any issues, challenges, circumstances, you always got Mr. Derek, and you can always come harass Miss Willona at Brightside. And people now in my office most of the time, so if you need me, come over here. But love yourself, and there's always hope. There's always hope that you can do better. Your goal is to do better than your parents did. That was my mom's always goal. I want you to be better than me, and that's what I want for all of our kids. I want them to be better than we were.
Yes. So I know when I came to Christmas Addicts, we had started a partnership before I came with doing Kwanzaa with Brightside. And I know we see the work that you do to empower the African American community. So we want to present you with this plaque. And the plaque says, the Excellence Award presented to Brightside Opportunity Center for your contribution to the African American community and beyond.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So pretty. So share it with my board.
We're going to close it with this. If somebody wants to make a donation to Brightside Opportunity Center, how can they do that?
Call me, 717-509-1342. Go to our website, brightsideopportunities.org, and you can make it a PayPal. We accept them all. Credit card. You call us up. We'll run your credit card through our credit card machine. But yeah, that's typically how we do donations. Honestly, is through our website, secure site. You can do it there, and that is how we accept donations. Or you can always send a check. Some people don't want to run their credit card, so they can send us a check. So send a check always, or give cash. Listen, you can give cash. We got a front desk. We deposit it.
We give you a receipt.
We give you a receipt, and we'll send you a thank you letter, because that is my job, and that is what I do all the time, and I do it well. Make sure everybody has been thanked, because we appreciate people, putting their hard-earned money to. So it's a lot of work, a lot of work working, and then giving it to somebody. You want them to do what they're supposed to do with it, and we definitely do that. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking your time to.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for this beautiful plaque. I don't know where I gotta hang it at a good place.
No problem. Well, again, my name is Vincent Derek Smith, and this is Soulful Sunday from Crispus Attucks Community Center, a Black History Month celebration.